Hi everyone, I created a Popplet to cover the literature that I researched on thematic teaching. And so I'm going to walk you through this Popplet and tell you how I created it. So the four black Popplets at the top are the overarching themes that will be discussed in my literature review. So first, I think it's important that we talk about the history behind the social studies curriculum. And as we all know, most of us grew up through a No Child Left Behind era where our teachers were focusing so much on the standards and teaching to a test, and those California content standards and the textbooks really um, were what drove the curriculum that our teachers were teaching us. And then we transitioned to Common Core state standards. But as we know, Common Core state standards aren't really emphasized in the history and social sciences. Our students are being tested in mathematics and English language arts. And really, history teachers have become an extra support for the English language arts by focusing on the skills in our classrooms. So, the history behind social studies curriculum to me is extremely important to see how we got to where we are. The majority of my curriculum, which is this blue section right here, is about how thematic teaching is beneficial. This literature that I found really showed me the benefits of thematic teaching in the sense that most of these authors talked about, and the titles of the articles are listed up here and the authors' names, and down here I have some quotes and some summaries about the articles. But I really learned how important thematic teaching is for the depth of coverage, because our students are no longer just covering textbooks from chapter 1 to chapter 26. My idea is to go from this chronological pacing guide of chapter 1 to 26 based on a textbook to a thematic approach where we're still teaching students chronologically. However, rather than just focusing on bits and pieces throughout history of certain groups of people, really we focus on that group of people, and it allows us to teach the students more in depth about these people. For example, African Americans or Native Americans, rather than just take bits and pieces throughout different eras, we focus on those groups throughout history of how their lives have changed. And the textbook now just becomes simply a resource of many resources rather than really driving the curriculum. And that's why should we continue to use textbooks is a whole nother topic over here. The gray is an in-between because these authors talked about the benefits of thematic teaching, and in that they talked about one of the benefits has to do with kind of getting away from this textbook idea. And so it's beyond, you know, what this textbook really has to say, and we include a lot more sources. And over here we have how should we design social studies units, because now that we know that thematic teaching is extremely important and can really help students, how do we go from there? How do we design these thematic units? And I think that this literature here will really help me in designing the new pacing guide that I'm creating as my final project. So, from you, if you have any advice for me on how to fill in these gaps, any gaps you see, I'm still looking for a little bit more research on the value of getting rid of textbooks or whether or not we should continue using textbooks. And if anyone has any really great articles on No Child Left Behind and Common Core that you'd like to share with me, that would be great as well. So I'm looking forward to your feedback, and I'm going to attach the Popplet as a separate link. So if you want to look through the Popplet without my screencast in the background, then you're welcome to as well. Thank you so much.